Hi everyone! Welcome to Personal 20 as we have our Facebook Live here, and we hope Facebook's working well today after yesterday. So we just want to give a moment to welcome people, let people see that we are live. We are here in Personal 20. We are at our Tyson's location. I'm Connie.
And I'm Melissa.
And we are celebrating Active Aging Week. So the International Council of Active Aging, which is celebrating 20 years, by the way, chooses 1 week of the year, and it happens to be this week, the first week of October, to celebrate all the positive benefits of aging. Aging strong, aging well. I personally am 54 and I'm an active ager.
I'm 58 and I'm an active ager.
And we're so happy you're joining us today. This whole week we're doing a series of sharing tips for active aging. Yesterday we spoke with Dr. Carrie Welsh and we talked about having a young, healthy spine as we age. Today we are here with Melissa, who's one of our world-class EMS trainers, and she's also a nutrition coach. We're going to be talking about protein and aging. Come back tomorrow at 2:30. We'll be with Dr. Cecily DiStefano of Optimal Motion. We're going to talk about arthritis and aging and how to handle arthritis without medication. And Thursday's going to be fun at 8 a.m. for those early risers. If you want to join us and some of our trainers, Carmen and Christoph, we're going to break our fasts together and share with you our favorite breakfasts too, okay? So, to get started, we're just going to have a list of questions. These are things that are common. Our clients are always asking us as they're here exercising, building their muscles with the EMS strength training, and what about proteins? So why is a protein-rich diet important? Is it important as we age? Is it important as we age?
It is important as we age for a couple of reasons. One is sarcopenia. So that's a phrase or definition which means you lose muscle mass, muscle strength, and function of your everyday life as you age. And starting from the age of 30, we start to lose muscle mass, and it widens as we get into our 50s and 60s. So that can be prevented by protein and resistance training and exercise. As you age, you're going to need more to keep that from happening, to avoid losing muscle mass.
Okay, so as we age, we need to keep strength training.
Right.
And we need to increase our protein consumption. So let's actually look at some of the protein recommendations, which I'm finding fascinating as well. I do the strength training and I pay attention to my diet, but let's just go a little more into what are the actual recommendations.
So the RDA protein recommendations for adults 18 and above, doesn't say older or doesn't say if they're lifting weights, it's just a general, is for 18 and above 0.8 to 1.2 per kilograms per body weight. But what they recommend as we get older, or if we are lifting weights and building strength, they recommend up to 2.2 or 2, starting at 1.3 for adults, for active agers, let me say. So you definitely need more to begin with. That's even, the 1.3 is even higher than what the RDA recommends for a general population of 18 and above.
So basically I need more protein now because I'm getting older.
Right.
And I also strength train.
Yes.
So let's try to make this look a little more visual, how we can consume some of those ranges. So if we chunk it up, what's the overall grams of protein per meal?
So
I know you have some recommendations.
Right. So there's a couple sources. One of them is NASM, and what NASM recommends is 4 meals throughout the day with 21 grams at every meal evenly. They really recommend even amount of protein per each meal for a couple reasons. If you're not getting enough, you're not going to get the benefit of the amino acids going into the muscles. If you have too much at one sitting, then they can't store it, so you're going to waste it, if you will. So 21 grams times 4 meals equal about 84 grams a day. Okay. Even if you're doing
that's really interesting.
Right.
Overall, as an active ager, I should be striving for about approximately 84 grams.
And possibly even a little bit more. more. They say the RDA is 10 to 35%, and we really want to push more towards the upper end of that if you're an active ager and if you lift weights.
Right. Or if you do EMS.
Right, which is lifting.
Which is
EMS,
another equivalent.
Exactly.
Right.
Absolutely.
So that's really interesting. 84 as a target. If anybody out there wants to be super specific, we always recommend find a dietitian or a nutrition coach that can do measures for you. But we're talking in general.
Generalization.
Calls you out there and spreading it out throughout the day. So don't eat too much at one meal,
Right.
too little
Right.
okay.
So you really want even distribution, consumption throughout the day of every meal. So even if you're doing intermittent fasting or whatever in that 8-hour window, you can still do 4 of them in there somewhere. You can set an alarm every 2 hours, make sure you're getting that protein in there, whatever works for you. But you still want to evenly distribute it throughout your meal consumption. It's really important.
So let's chunk that down even further. What could that look like as I'm eating my breakfast and my lunch and as I'm eating my meals? What would be some of the examples, some of the visuals
So some
that
of the
can help me?
examples here is, if this is an example of 30 grams of protein with each meal, okay, which would be on the higher end. So several, like Connie had mentioned to me earlier, she really likes eggs. So one meal example would be 5 whole eggs with 1 cup of veggies. That is how you would get your 30 grams. Another one is 2 scoops of protein, of pure protein powder, with a cup of almond milk or whatever type of plant milk you want in there, and a 1/2 cup of berries. Also, another one would be 5-ounce chicken breast with a cup of brown rice, 1/2 avocado, and a cup of broccoli. Also, any of these you can enter for people like me that don't eat meat. You can do tofu or tempeh instead of the chicken or any other type of meat, steak or salmon. Another example, a good one is 6 ounces of salmon, 1 large size salad with lettuce, tomato, and onion.
So let's use that salmon with salad as an example. So what does the 6 ounces of salmon look like?
So 6 ounces would be about the size of a deck of cards. So that's how you can kind of visualize it. So, a lot of people aren't going to have the time or don't have the patience to measure everything. So just think, okay, or a palm of your hand or a fist. Somewhere in that realm is really what a serving size should be. I know if you go to restaurants, sometimes it's 3 times that. So you got to remember that. This is generally what a serving size would be of protein.
One more reason why it's good to prepare our own food at home.
Exactly.
So I think that's a really good example. I can think the palm of my hand, I can think a deck of cards, I sit down to eat that meal. But that's an example of the salmon with salad. What would be an example for a vegan?
So we could do, like I said, we could do, for this one, it could be, instead of the 5-ounce chicken, you could do tofu. Same thing, 1/2 cup of brown rice, 1/2 cup of avocado, and a cup of broccoli.
So 5 ounces of tofu would kind of be the equivalent.
Pretty much.
And that would be, again, about the size of a deck of cards, palm of my hand.
Right,
That could
because
be an equivalent.
1/2 cup of tofu equals 10 grams of protein.
So if I wanted 30 grams and I was using tofu, I could do 1/2 cup is 10, so I'd want 1.5 cups.
Exactly, and for tempeh, it would be a little bit more protein. 1/2 cup would be 15 grams of protein. So you would just do a cup in that. So there's equivalents. You just have to really look at it. You can always go online to find what an equivalent is, because everyone's a little bit different. Like a lot of people may not know, baked potatoes, a large one has 8 grams of protein in there. So there's proteins in places that you may not realize. It's not just animal products or dairy. There's lots of different ways you can.
So what are some of the other what are some other sources of protein that our own clients are like, oh, I didn't know there was protein in that?
Any seeds or nuts, beans, huge source of protein. Quinoa, huge source of protein. And then of course, the dairy products, cheese, yogurt, eggs also have protein, which I think most people know that, but there's lots of them. Broccoli, spinach, a lot of the vegetables have them. Now, they're not going to be to the extent that that you get from, say, fish or meat or something, but they still count as protein. You have to remember it's the total grams of the day per meal.
All protein counts.
Yes.
So becoming familiar with these as guidelines, 84 grams a day plus. This is general guidelines.
Right.
Chunking it down into maybe 20 to 30 grams per meal. Not trying to overdo it at dinner.
Exactly.
Only.
Exactly.
Are some good.
Not trying to catch up at the end of the day. You know, you really want to think about each meal you have and make sure they're evenly balanced.
Yeah. So I think those are like some really good tips of how we can spread our protein consumption throughout the day. And I'm just going to take a quick pause here to see if there's anybody has any questions. Want to encourage questions while we have a few more minutes here. And Melissa, before we talk about as EMS specialized trainers here at Personal 20 and what we recommend, is there anything else you wanted to share with anybody who's watching about aging and protein?
Protein has been shown that it's not just for helping facilitate muscle growth, it's really just as important for bone health as it is to get calcium and vitamin D, which is really another reason to really make sure that you're really getting the protein that you need throughout the day. Because a lot of times as we get older, our bones start to become frail, and between EMS training and eating properly, you're going to make sure that that doesn't happen. So that's really an important little tidbit that a lot of people may not know.
Yeah, so that's really important. So what we want to encourage everybody during Active Aging Week is that you're mindful and you're aware as you're aging, protein needs increase, and that you're mindful and aware that you need to keep strong muscles and adequate protein helps. We lose our muscle mass as we age, so we want to encourage everybody to do strength training. It comes in all sizes, shapes, and forms. If you're looking for a nice 20-minute workout of strength training that's joint friendly, we have the perfect solution. It's EMS, electronic muscle stimulation. It gets awesome recruitment of your slow twitch and your fast twitch. Basically, all your different muscle fibers get adequately trained. You're always in a one-on-one moment with a trainer, so we have every opportunity to customize the workout just for you and to work with any limitations as we get older, whether we've always been fit or whether we were unfit. We might have issues going on with our shoulders, our backs, and our knees. So EMS provides a great solution for that because it's so joint friendly with this awesome recruitment of your muscles.
Right.
Results are quick. In only 8 visits, you're going to be feeling it. 8 more, you're going to be seeing it. And 8 after that, others are going to see it. So we want to invite you, if you don't already know about EMS, Active Aging Week, you can do 1 free trial. So anybody out there that's 50 or over and wants to experience state-of-the-art technology, just give us a call. Visit us on our website, personal20.net, or click here at Facebook, and we'd love to invite you in. Thank you, Melissa, for sharing this. Eat your protein and get your strength training on.
Yeah, do your EMS. Bye-bye.
Bye.